What's up, everyone? Mr. Jeff the Custodian here. Listen, I got this idea for this video off a comment on one of the videos that I had, and it is an issue that we as custodians face from time to time. So I think we're just going to talk about it some today. So here we go. Okay, in the comment that I looked at was this right here, is that I have a principal that wants me to put 7 coats of wax on my floors. And I know that that's way too much because you're going to get a buildup and possibly get some yellowing. If you were stripping and waxing your floors every year, 7 coats, this is my opinion, it's too much. Too much wax. Why do you want to put 7 coats on a floor when it's going to wear off possibly at the most 2 to 3 coats? Yes, the floor is going to get dingy. Yes, the floor is going to get dirty. That's called wear and tear. That's what our floors do. That's the reason we maintain them. That's the reason we top scrub them. That's the reason we strip. So 7 coats of wax. The only time that I would put that much wax on the floor, if it was a brand new floor that never had wax on it before. This is the thing right here. Run across this many times, and if I, hit some things that you can relate to, and you've run across these problems before, let me know in the comments below, and let's kind of talk about it a little bit, because I said this to a boss one time. It was an administrator. They were telling me things about my job and what I should do. Now, I'm all for corrective criticism if we need it. I'm all for if there's something that I can do better, if I'm missing, or if I'm not doing what I need to do, let me know about it and I'll try to correct it. But when you have a person that does not do what we do, why are you trying to tell me what to work? Especially when it comes to waxing floors. If you've never waxed floors before, and you think that more is better, that's not always the case. Because we know as custodians, when we get time for us to, I can't talk today, when it gets time for us to strip those floors, and you got to build up, and you've got to work twice as hard to get unnecessary wax off the floor that's been put on there, it just makes our job harder. So let me get back to what I said to this administrator. They were telling me things about my job, and I said, no disrespect, but this is kind of how I see it. I do this every day, and I've learned a lot from trial and error, and your job is to, hire teachers, make class lists, make schedules, do those kind of things. I'm not qualified to do what you do, and if I come in here and start trying to do that, it wouldn't be good for this school. And it wouldn't, just wouldn't be a good thing, because I don't do that every day. I could probably come up with something, but it probably wouldn't work very well, and it wouldn't be as effective and efficient as what you can do in that area, because that's what you do every day. And I kind of feel that same way about what I do as a custodian. And I didn't mean that, out of disrespect, but, kind of had to set some boundaries there and, share that, the way I felt about that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And, here's the thing about it. If you got someone that knows what they're doing, you hired that person to do that job, trust that person to do that job. That's the way I feel about it. Any of y'all out there feel the same way? Trust that person that you've hired to clean that building. Give them the liberty to do what they know how to do. And I'm not talking about lazy people. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about people that we're in this business. And if you've been in this for at least 3 years or more, you have learned a lot of the basics. You've learned a lot of the things. You've learned a lot of what you don't want to get into again. Mistakes that maybe you have made, or you've went in there and had to clean up a mess of buildup of what somebody else has done before you got there. Man, I've had to do that more than I want to count on my little fingers and on my hand, because it seems like I have probably fixed more messes over the years that people has made. Several years ago, we had a company come in and wanted to do a demo on floors, and they said, you don't have to strip your floors but once every 10 years. And they came in there with this system that they had, and I'm not going to go into details of what this system was that they had. But anyway, we had the superintendent there, we had our maintenance supervisor, custodial supervisor, all that stuff there on site, had all the custodians in the system, and they come in there and they done this demo. And it was not a good way of doing floors. And that guy worked on that floor, and he said, okay, that's ready for wax. And me and my partner, we looked at one another because we've been doing this for a long time. We said, you're not about to put wax on that floor. That floor is still dirty. No, it's ready for wax. We're like, no, bud, that's just not going to work. With us telling them, do not buy this system. It's not going to be a good thing. Well, they thought it was great and wonderful. Well, sure enough, they bought the system. And basically all it was a top scrub on some really nasty floors. And our hands were tied. We couldn't do anything about it. We had to do what the school system bought. So we did it. We did that for 2 years. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Our floor started yellowing. Our floor started looking so bad. We had so much buildup around the edges. It was pathetic. So they decided, yeah, y'all need to chemically strip. Now, I'm going to tell you, it took us about 4 years of razor blade scraping, putting stripper down and stripping, and putting more stripper down and stripping, and picking up and stripping again, stripping 3 or 4 times in a classroom and scraping. I mean, we had so much sludge in the middle of the floor, we just scrape it to the middle of the room with a razor blade and take a dustpan and a broom and just basically sweep it in it. Then we got it down good enough where we could actually strip the floor and get it down to the tile and start over. So, man, I'm like, listen to your people. Let your people do their job. I know I got on a rant and a rave, but it just kind of is frustrating that you have people that think that they know what you need to do and they don't do that kind of work. It's just kind of like, oh my goodness. And while I'm on it, let's just go ahead and go here. Let's just go ahead and go here. You know, it's amazing that they'll put somebody over us, custodians, that has a degree, and they can't, quote, put us over each other because we don't have the degree. So they come in there and they don't know anything. And they hang around us, and they'll watch us, and they'll listen to our jive and our talk, and ask us some questions, and you know, how many gallons of stripper to water did you use? How many coats of wax are you putting on? What pad is this for? And all this kind of stuff. And they get a little knowledge about this. Then they get in front of their bigwig bosses, and they talk it up like they know what they're doing, and they take credit for our work, and that just kind of gets under my skin sometimes. It just does. It has got under my skin. I had a supervisor that was like that several years ago, and it was just like, my goodness, you don't know doodly, but you want us to make you look good, and you want to take credit for it, and you're up there making the big 100K plus a year. But yeah. I know y'all there. I know you there. I know you've been there. So anyway, go out there and stand your case. Prove your point. Stand up for what you know, that you know how to do. Well, what if somebody tells me to go ahead and put 7 coats on this floor? Well, this is my opinion. Don't get yourself in trouble. Are they going to stand there and watch you all day long? You do what you know how to do and smile and say, okay. Y'all have a great day.